Welcome back to SA Sports Show, and it's time for Ando's Blast from the Past. And a very good friend of mine and an ex-Woodville warrior, I reckon, those days,
Warriors,
Rocky
mate.
Butterworth. Welcome.
Thank you, mate.
I look at a bit of the history all the way from Barmera into the big town, the big smoke of Adelaide. Would have been pretty daunting, I reckon.
I did that twice, mate. I came down to play state basketball when I was 18 years old. I went to a tournament in Port Pirie, and Boddy Nodge, who used to write for the Advertiser, was the coach of one of the opposition teams. And he just came up to me and said, you need to be in Adelaide. And I just jokingly said, okay, you get me a transfer in the bank and I'll come down. About 3 weeks later, get this transfer list, Rocky Butterworth, Adelaide.
All right.
And then the stress did pile up a little bit, mate. So I catch the bus down to Adelaide, no car, got the stick with a tea towel tied to it. That was my life belongings.
Vegemite sandwich.
Got off the bus at Franklin Street and just walked out and went,
where do I go? What direction?
what goes on now? Where am I heading?
Oh, wow.
And they had a place for me to stay at Parkside, the basketball club.
Yeah.
So I asked about 5 people, where's Parkside? That way.
Yeah.
Well, as you know, mate, if you don't mention a coffee shop, I'm lost in Adelaide.
Yeah.
So that didn't help me one bit. So I walked and then finally think, I'll catch one of those taxis and see if he knows where he's going.
Which there wouldn't be too many taxis over in Barmera either, by the way.
No taxis there, mate. Mate, I lived 100 metres from everything. Main street, nightclub, footy oval, trotting track was around the corner. Yeah. I wasn't going anywhere.
So it'd take you a while to settle in. I mean, now we're talking basketball, and I should have mentioned that you're state basketball as well.
Yeah, it took ages, mate. And the very first training we had, back in those days, we had those tracksuits that were flares with the studs up.
The studs, you can rip them off. Yeah.
And they were so heavy, they were made of the thickest cotton you could ever get your hands on, or rayon, whatever it was. And I said, I don't know how to get to the basketball stadium in Forestville. And one of the blokes said, it's easy, just find the tram line and follow that and you'll get there. And I go, okay. Where's the tram line? So from Parkside, I go down Greenhill Road, see a tram line, and I'm running the whole way in my tracksuit because I didn't want to be late for the game.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Then I ran all along the tram line trying to find a basketball court because I said it was over
that you could see from the tram track.
So I found it and I walk here, mate, and it looks like I've just done a workout with George Costanza.
Oh, jeez.
And then you're watching these blokes take their pants off, their tracksuit pants off, and they're all just ripping them and throwing them to the side, and I'm thinking, have I got any of those things? This is pretty cool. So I ripped them off, and you play your game. But I got used to that, and I got transferred to Mount Gambier in the bank.
Yep.
Back in those days, if you didn't take the transfer,
you're out.
And I was lucky that my boss was Wally Dittmar.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And and Wally said, it's good for the bank to have someone playing top level. So he got the transfer denied, and that lasted another 9 months. And just to make up for it, they sent me over to Woodner on the west coast, population about 42. Oh. And I'm reading it, and all I could see, go home rock.
Yeah.
So I went back to Barmera.
Okay, yeah.
And the rest of that story is I was happy. I probably would have stayed in Barmera.
That was
all my life. I loved the place, and I didn't have any other need to come back to Adelaide. And I joined the NWS, SA Water nowadays, and we all used to sit around for morning coffee at about 8:30 when you got there. Then it was smoko at 10 o'clock, then lunch at 12. So we didn't do a whole lot of work. And we used to sit around this circle, all the staff, And the team of the year had just been picked for the Riverland. I was named at centre half forward, right?
Oh, beautiful.
So someone says, what if someone like Malcolm Blight rang you and said, come to Adelaide? And I said, no, I wouldn't go, I'm happy here.
Yeah.
My phone rang at my desk, right? And the bloke sitting next to it answered it and, said Rocky Butter with his phone. The bloke said, Malcolm Blight.
Malcolm Blight.
Right? So I said, oh, that's funny, Terry.
Yeah.
So I picked up the phone there and I said, how the F are you, Blighty? And he goes, oh, not bad, thanks, Rocky.
Oh, no.
And I didn't know whether to hang up.
Yeah, let's start again. It's like
start again or talk. The staff are all laughing. Oh. And I thought, Sorry about that intro. It's right.
I thought it was a joke.
Yeah. So that was my.
But that was a big thrill. Imagine Malcolm Blight, Brownlow medalist,
Yeah.
premiership player for North Melbourne,
Yeah.
and Gary medalist, of course, for giving you a call, say, hey, get your tail down here. We want you to play in the SANFL.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was good.
I have heard of a story, and I know we've only got a short amount of time, but there was, after one game, I think he lit up a big Cuban. I mean, please, if you can, you got to share that story.
Well, mate, the room that he took us into is about half the size of where we are now. So for people watching, it's about 4x4.
Yeah, okay, it's tiny for a lot of players.
And it had a glass window, but the window couldn't open. It was just glass,
Blacked out.
Yeah. And that was where Johnny Reid used to sit, the reserves coach, or whoever. And we played North Adelaide. It was about 30 degrees on a Sunday. They were top, we were bottom, and at three-quarter time we were pretty close to them, and then they smashed us in the last quarter.
Yeah.
And that week, Max Parker had told Blighty, the players think that, if we can ban smoking in the change rooms, that will help and get things done. Well, Blighty was a smoker, so he said anything to make you play. Anything to make you play well.
Yeah.
Right? So we end up getting belted by North Adelaide, and we get marched into the in room one by one. No light, so it's as dark as a dog's tummy. Yeah. We're all sitting there, standing there, sweating.
Sweat up 4 quarters of footy.
And all we hear is the sucking on a cigar and the glow. And he just said, "You blokes can't play footy anyway, so I might as well have
a cigarette and a big cigar."
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Some of those things he'd done at the time, because he knows that you're petrified.
Yeah.
And then he dumbs it down by doing something like that.
Wow.
But you just never knew.
Yeah.
If he rubbed the back of his head, you knew there was trouble.
There was trouble. Get behind Big Maxie.
So that day at Footy Park, when he left the ground early, he rubbed the back of his head nearly the whole way from the coach's box around to the change room.
That's right, yeah.
Right? And there was a heap of us Woodville boys, and they said, "I don't want to be in that change room."
I don't want to be in that change room after this.
Because he's rubbing his head longer than he's ever done.
Is that fair? Thanks so much for coming in. That was absolutely brilliant. And,
good fun.
You look at, coming all the way from Barmera, lost in Adelaide's footprint, for your state basketball as well as football. But then to be able to say, that it was two of your best years of your sporting career. Obviously, playing with some great characters, playing lots of league footy yourself. It's just so refreshing that, you have some great memories. And it's not always about your win-losses. It's about your friendships and your memories. And I know you've got plenty of them. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
We're back after the break.